C.S.I. contains graphic images that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to another episode of C.S.I. To my left is Ethan, to my right is Riley, and my name is Nick, and I will be bringing you today's topic of interest, the Mandela effect. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the Mandela effect refers to a phenomenon in which a large number of people share false memories of past events, referred to as confabulation in psychiatry. Some have speculated that the memories are caused by parallel universes spilling into our own, while others explain the phenomenon as a failure of collective memory. Now, it started out, the reason it's named the Mandela effect, it's because so many people believe that they saw Nelson Mandela's funeral when he died in prison, and they remember it so vividly on TV. But actually, when he died, I believe, about 10 years later, they were confused. They didn't know. They said, I remember watching his funeral. He died in prison. And that's not the case. Mm-hmm. So,
because obviously he got out of prison.
Yeah.
So there's that.
He didn't die in prison.
Right. So that explains, maybe parallel universes where Nelson Mandela did die, but then somehow we may either sucked into a black hole, I've heard, or something happened where we skipped into another parallel universe where Nelson Mandela did not die. And then he died later. Died twice.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, the black hole thing is kind of crazy. Because that's a whole different topic.
That's a whole other spectrum.
Something that helps me believe in parallel universes because I don't know, if you actually research that stuff, those things are traveling at billions of miles per hour, and we'd have no idea. We'd have no idea if we went through one.
Right.
It's so massive and what you know what I mean. Like it's so big
Space
of an
is
idea.
Scary. Space is terrifying.
It's so terrifying because it's so big and it's so it's unusual.
Yeah. Fear of the unknown.
It's unknown. It's so much unknown. Yeah.
Fear of the unknown. That's like the bottom of the ocean. Shit's scary.
Yeah. But the whole ideal of the Mandela effect is crazy because people believe,
and it's not just a group, a little group of people. Thousands of people remember Nelson Mandela's funeral. Yeah.
It's not just a small group or it's a mass amount of people believe in that. And 10 years later, he died.
Yeah.
And they're confused why he actually died.
Yeah, I know quite a bit about the Mandela effect. Yeah. So it's really interesting to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, Mandela's death in general is not the one that really shocks me. There's a whole bunch of other ones.
Man.
Right.
You showed me a few. Yes.
Yeah. So there are a couple that are really predominant and really just don't make any sense. Mm-hmm. One of them is I'll start out a little easier. Mm-hmm. The Berenstain Bears.
It's the Berenstain Bears, man.
People believe it's the Berenstain Bears.
I don't care what anybody says. It's the Berenstain Bears.
It is actually pronounced Berenstain Bears.
No, there's no way.
Now, no. Now, I've always heard it as Berenstain, and you say that I'm the only person.
I'm telling you. I've never heard anyone say Berenstain.
I've never heard Berenstain.
I just listened to the song
Berenstain Bears.
Yeah. Bears. So I always knew of that one as Berenstain. But there are a couple other ones that they're a little worse.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go ahead with another popular one. Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
That's not the line. The famous line is, no, I am your father.
Yeah.
But so many people, no, watch the movie, it's Luke, I am your father. And then, no, it's not. You watch the movie, it's no, I am your father. That's another one. Another one is, Houston, we have a problem.
This one pisses me off, actually. That one's nuts because, people were told, it came out, it was one of those things like the Luke, I'm your father. That was oh, no, it's not Houston, we have a problem. It's Houston, we had a problem. And, so I was told, it was oh, man, you guys are right. It is Houston, we had a problem. And then, a few years later, it came back out again that it was Houston, we have a problem.
It was flip-flop.
Yeah, so it's it flipped twice in two like the same lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't even know what it is anymore. Is it Houston? It is Houston. We have a problem, right?
I believe
Houston.
now it is have.
Okay.
I thought it was have now, like
Yeah.
as in now.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a
Because
problem.
it came out as like a big deal. It's like, oh, lines you've been saying wrong your whole life. It's Houston. We had a problem, not have a problem.
And you listen to it.
Yeah.
And you hear had. And you're
Seriously,
like, wow.
if you go on YouTube now, you can still see people saying, "Oh, it is Houston. We had a problem." Like there's still
People,
comments
yeah.
that say that, but it's not. It's Houston. We
Yeah,
had
there's
a problem.
there's also the one with Pikachu.
No tail.
With the tail, does he have a black stripe at the end?
He doesn't,
Or if it's-
right?
No.
He
No, I
does.
don't believe he does.
I always pictured him with a black end to his tail. I
No.
don't know why.
No, I'm really. It's no stripe, right? It's, yeah.
More tails. Curious George. Does Curious George the monkey have a tail?
This one pissed me off too.
He does, right?
No.
What?
No.
Curious George does not have a tail.
No, he doesn't. I swear
See-
to God, a Curious George hanging from trees on his tail.
I swear.
No.
Or is that Boots from Dora? I don't.
You know what? That's what it is.
That's what it
what I was saying.
Boots. No, Mandela effect. Does he have boots? No,
Does
yeah.
Boots wear boots?
Does Boots wear boots? No.
Another big one is Shazam, the movie starring Sinbad, where Sinbad was a genie, and it was a comedy movie where Sinbad was a genie. You know, thousands of reviews. You know, it was a pretty, awful movie reviewed.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
The movie literally doesn't exist.
Thousands of
Really?
people are saying, where is it? It's not on IMDb.
This one's huge. There's a ton of people that are behind this
I've
one.
never heard that one.
Yeah,
actually.
people, there's a board game about
A mo-
Sinbad's, about a movie that
That
doesn't exist.
That's wow.
Like,
Yeah. There was
That's actually-
Kazam.
there was Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal, but people thought, Sinbad made his own genie movie.
Wow.
But
That's a bigger one. That's more of a bigger one
that
because
that
there's-
is one of the bigger ones, yeah.
Yeah, because there's some that are, for me at least, there's some out there examples that are a lot weaker than some of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
You know, like the Mandela one that we started off with. I think that's bigger than for example, like the Oscar Mayer. Like I was thinking of
That one
earlier.
pisses me off too.
Oscar Mayer,
they all
how
make me
is it
mad.
spelled?
Okay, I swear, it's Meyer.
It's not, it's
Really?
M-A.
That one drives me nuts too.
M-A.
Those are the small ones.
Pretty
that-
much every single Mandela effect example has fucked with me.
Yeah.
Like I've never really been
Well,
oh, it's this way.
It also makes you think of what is really questions. It
Yeah.
makes you question your own thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. Kit Kat.
Mm.
Picture Kit Kat wrapper. Does it have a dash in between Kit and Kat?
No.
No,
Nope,
Doesn't.
it does not.
does not.
Another one, the Monopoly Man. Which
Yep, this
which
one pisses me off, too.
which eye does the Monopoly Man have a monocle on?
On neither of them, because it doesn't exist.
He does not have a monocle.
Most people think he does on his left. Or his right.
Ah,
I
man.
don't know.
I guess it's like the peanut guy, right? I mean, he's got a monocle, right? Is that what people get it mixed up?
Yeah, I believe that's why. So what is the last line of "We Are the Champions" by Queen?
Well, okay, I know this one. Actually, I don't know what the real answer is, but I know what people think it is. And it's "of the world" and just fade out. That's not
That's
what
right.
it is. That's
It's
not what it is. I don't remember what it. I don't remember what it is.
They just say "We are the champions," and then it just faded out from there. There is
Really?
no "of the world" at the end.
I think movies ruin that one because movies often edit it to the point where it ends on the "of the world."
Or,
Like,
yeah.
I could show you 30 examples in movies
Yeah.
where it does that.
There's a lot of movies that do that.
Yeah, so maybe that's why
Yeah.
people have that
But-
in
but-
their head.
But the last line of the actual song is just "We are the champions," and then they fade
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump. Please tell me the famous line from Forrest Gump.
There's Jenny.
Mama always told me.
Life
Life
was
is life. I thought
was
life
like
is a box of chocolates.
life was like a box.
Life
of
was like a box of
Really?
chocolates. Yep.
No.
Yep.
yeah.
Is.
Nope.
Is.
Mama always
Life
told.
is a box of is.
Mama always told me, past tense. Life was like a box of chocolates. Life
Right.
was like a box of chocolates.
Chocolate. Yeah.
So it's on you. Wow. I never. These are. I don't believe it.
I
really.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
Yeah. A few more here. What is the TV show? Is it Sex and the City or Sex in the City?
Sex in the City.
I always knew the Sex in the City.
Yeah.
It is Sex and the City.
Yeah. You know what's this one makes me mad too because there's like legitimate perfumes and stuff that came out for Sex and the City that are called Sex in the City. Like that's how messed up that one is.
Yeah.
Because like it's so commonly mistaken that like even products sold for the show are wrong.
But that also could be just simple issues.
Can you sue for
that? Could be simple like issues though, manufacturing. Is
the branding for Sex in the City available? Can we buy that?
I'm getting reports that it is available. I have no idea. Probably.
Confirmed.
Probably. No. But when you Google search Sex in the City,
it's gonna be the same.
It pops up.
It's gonna be the
like
same.
It doesn't say "Did you mean?" It doesn't do that.
It's gonna be the same result as and.
Mm-hmm. All right. Famous line from Silence of the Lambs. Hello, Clarice.
Yeah.
Where did they say that in the movie?
I don't know why that line's so famous.
They didn't.
Yeah.
He never said that. Hannibal Lecter never said that.
Yeah, that's when I can literally like hear in my head too. Hello, Clarice.
Right. So.
Sorry. Go on.
Thank you for that. So.
Thank you.
That's all the examples I'm gonna put forward.
Okay.
So, after all of that, are we deciding fact or fiction? Is the Mandela effect real?
Well, obviously there's something going on. I don't want to say like. I don't want to jump to like parallel universe or anything, but like it is kind of crazy that so many people have like come to the conclusion and have like, there's a consensus on like this is what it was. Why is it not that anymore? I don't understand. Obviously, some of them it makes sense where it got lost in the mix. Like Sex and the City kind of makes sense to me, and movie lines make sense to me in general. The Houston we had a problem one doesn't make sense to me because it flipped twice. That one. I don't understand that one.
They told you, listen, it's had. You listen, it's had. Then years later, it's have. You listen to the same clip, the same video you watch, and it's have.
Yeah. So that one doesn't really make any sense.
No,
that one drives me nuts. But like, Luke, I'm your father. I mean, that one makes sense.
Kind of sounds similar.
Forrest Gump kind of pisses me off, but that one still kind of makes sense.
That one upsets me.
I mean, it's one word. It's one little mix.
But it still hits you.
It still hits you. Yeah, it gets me every time.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, like if there was a smaller group, it wouldn't be as big as it is. No one would care about the Mandela effect,
right?
Because like just some people just believe whatever they want.
They just don't remember.
They're different. No, but like
they just don't remember.
Yeah, like it's just odd.
But when you have 100,000 people, talking about Sinbad's movie that doesn't exist, like
they even made a game of the movie that doesn't even exist.
Yeah, like
that's a bigger one. For me.
It became such a big deal that they even parodied it on what did. Sinbad went onto a show and parodied it.
Either SNL or like a Jimmy Fallon and then dressed up like a genie.
Yeah.
And so now when you search that, now actual pictures of him as a genie show up. So that really messes with you now.
Yeah.
I definitely believe it could be possible. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people believe certain things that never happened or aren't true. I mean, even stepping back to Nelson Mandela's funeral that hundreds of thousands of people remember watching on TV.
That's a big one, too.
Because he died in prison. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's just insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. Parallel universes make sense to me. Like, I believe that there are parallel universes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily believe that's why the Mandela effect is a thing. I really don't know what else it would be.
No.
Like,
yeah.
Are we just all that stupid?
For me, it's a little harder. I feel like, because you believe it, right? You believe in some aspect it exists. The Mandela effect, right?
I don't. Well, obviously it exists. Like you can't say
obviously
the Mandela
exists.
effect
You see
exists,
it right there.
but it's like
there's thousands of examples.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know what.
Do you believe in some way or effect?
Like something's causing it.
Something's causing it.
Yeah. I don't know what.
I mean, no one knows.
Honestly, there's only like two options to me. It's either we're all stupid. And we all just like came to a consensus that we're all just this stupid.
Yeah.
Or there's some sort of parallel universe.
There's something like a phenomenon, something happening upon it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would, and you believe it too.
Yeah, I do believe that.
Let me see. I believe it, especially with the bigger ones like the Mandela one and the film one. That one really is like it makes me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like
there's so much more to it. Like J.C. Penney, like is spelled weird than I remember. Looney Tunes.
But like also to me, like I also think of like these are just simple mistakes that people run through their mind. You know what I mean? I make those mistakes every day, and sometimes I pick up on them or I don't, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that's just one human compared to a lot of others. So, like, I feel like it could be possible. Like, some of the bigger ones, I agree, there is something going on. Because I'm like, the guy didn't die 10 years ago. You know, you know what I mean? In prison. And there's a film that didn't exist that they did a review, and then there was a game made by it. Like, that's, to me, like, that's bigger, you know? But a single word, you know what I mean? Being phrased around for years and years and years, it's like the game of telephone. It's just going to change, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, like, I'm sorry, but a lot of them are just, like, common mistakes or, like, common just things that can be mixed up on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think most of the common ones, honestly, are just simple mistakes or just, you know, people being people in a sense,
agree.
you know? But the bigger ones, like I mentioned, those would be the ones where I would say maybe something is behind it in some way.
Berenstein Bear still pisses me off.
Yeah, all of them piss me off, yeah. But
There's like 3 that really stand out to me, and one of them's Berenstein Bears. I don't understand. It's Berenstein Bears.
But, yeah.
Well, I think that about wraps up our thoughts on the Mandela effect. Thank you so much for watching. Editor, roll that outro.